Propaganda. Work, obey, and enjoy your day. Government. Honolulu is ruled by King Sylvia. He is a dictator supported by his party, a group of people who are rich and do not need to follow all the laws. They are in charge of controlling and brainwashing the population. King Silvio has the maximum power of Honolulu. Everything he says has to be done. The inner party can suggest ideas to King Silvio, but he decides whether he approves them or not. The inner party members follow King Silvio's orders, but they are not brainwashed. People from the outer party do not know there is an inner party, but they think there's only King Silvio. There are 20 people in the inner party. Each of them is a boss in a workplace. They control people by keeping them busy. People have to wake up at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Kids have to be in school and adults in their jobs. They spend the whole day there. Daily routine ends at 8 p.m. At 9 p.m., lights go off. Everyone has to be in their beds or sleeping. All days are the same. There are no rest days.
Every citizen looks practically the same. They wear black overalls and the t-shirt they wear depends on the color of the building. Women and men do not meet, they work in different places and live in different buildings. People who question a lot and have ideas of opposing are executed immediately. Some women are chosen to be birth mothers with King Silvio's sperms. They get pregnant and then deliver babies. They start going to school when they're 4 years old. At the age of 16, they start working. Honolulu is an island with 20,000 inhabitants. It has 20 buildings where the people live. The island is divided in 4. One part is for King Silvio and the inner party members and their families, and it is named Hola. The second part is the woman's side, and it is named Hole. The third part is the man's side, and it is named Holo. And the fourth part is the kids and birth mother's side, named Holy. The party side is a beautiful place. Each family. Education. From 4 to 16 years old, they go to school. Their uniform is a black overall. Birth mothers teach them. Students learn to love King Silvio. They teach them basic math and grammar, but nothing of history. They mainly teach them to obey everything and to be good citizens. The brainwashing starts in school. Workforce. There are 20 jobs, 10 for men and the other 10 for women. When a person turns 16, he or she is assigned a job. They cannot choose. The first year of work is where they get trained because they are going to spend the rest of their lives in there. Some of the jobs the government gives are harvesting, laundry, cooking, washing dishes, medicine, cleaning streets, cleaning buildings, electricians, food factories, and scientists. Each job helps Honolulu to maintain itself.
We are going to talk to you about the Montgomery family. Mr. Montgomery is an inner party member. He has 2 twin sons, Kyle and Kenneth. His wife died delivering them, but Mr. Montgomery had a new girlfriend, Tanya. The boys do not like Tanya, and Tanya doesn't like them either. They are incredibly close and are always there to support each other. Kyle and Kenneth always have a great time together. Mr. Montgomery is the boss of the scientists. He wanted a break from work, so he took his family to a trip out of Honolulu. They were having a great time, meeting new places and learning from different cultures. They were in heaven. Mr. Montgomery received a call from an inner party friend. He said that King Silvio had passed away from a heart attack. But what did that mean? Who was going to have the power? Who was going to rule Honolulu now? The first thing Mr. Montgomery thought was that he wanted the power, and he was going to fight with fists and teeth to get it. He talked to Kyle, Kenneth, and Tanya about it. Kyle and Tanya agreed with him. They were going to support him. But on the other side, Kenneth did not support his father. He became Honolulu's new leader. Everything was the same. The only thing that had changed was propaganda, because now it had Mr. Montgomery's face instead of King Silvio's face. So, when people started asking who was the man claiming to be the new King Montgomery, they decided to give everyone an antidote created by his group of scientists to make them forget the old King Silvio, and now they could recognize him as the new King Montgomery.
Kyle and Kenneth began to go to the meetings where the party members talked about certain issues that they had. Kenneth never commented during those meetings. He didn't even listen to them. When suddenly something caught his attention. A party member said, "Yes, the whole building in the kids area are sick." King Silvio suddenly stands up and says, "Let's throw a bomb." Kenneth could not believe what he was saying. He decided no more accepting his fate. He doesn't have to be like his father. He doesn't have to be a party member. He's going to become a rebel. He started paying attention to every detail about the operation, and he started making his plan as well. Finally, the day came. He was going to save those kids. Without his family knowing, he took a plane to Holi. He was going to take them out of there and go to heaven. He knew that they would be safe there, and he was planning to stay there as well. So that's what he did. He was a hero for the children. Meanwhile, King Silvio could not believe what had happened. How could his son betray him like that? No bombs were thrown, but King Silvio for sure was about to explode. According to Kenneth, he thought he accomplished his objective and now he was in heaven. He was finally free, but not for so long. His father found him. Everything became a nightmare because he got arrested and he was going to be executed. Kyle didn't know what to do. He tried to convince his father, but it was a waste of time. He had already made his decision. There was nothing he could do rather than visit his brother before his day comes. Kyle was devastated. He couldn't believe that he won't have a brother soon. He entered to the cell and he saw his brother. He looked terrible. He was laying down on the cold floor, almost naked. He was starving, so he decided to give him some food. They started talking about what had happened. It got to a point where they started fighting. Kyle told him that he couldn't understand why he did what he did. Kenneth explained everything, and suddenly everything began to make sense. He was right. We were monsters. The whole inner party was a monster. They had to do something to stop his dad. First, Kyle made a plan to get Kenneth out of prison without anyone knowing. Kyle went to Holo and Holi. He told them about the revolution and everyone agreed. The outer party was ready. Now the inner party and his dad were the real problem. Kyle began to convince his dad so in case he died, he would have to give him the power. That way, they could make sure it stayed in the family and that something like Kenneth did won't happen ever again. It was pretty difficult to convince him, but he got him to sign the contracts. The next morning, day of revolution, he went to the prison for his brother, and together they escaped and they did it by wearing the same exact clothes. And since they were identical twins, all the guards thought both were Kyle. After escaping, they had to make the next step. They had to kill his father. And in the end, they killed him. So now, the new leader was Kyle. And also Kenneth. He, next to his brother, and changed every aspect of Honolulu. Everyone was free.